Alright, so we're hiking the AT from Newfound Gap to Charlie's Bunion today. I may go check out the Jumpoff as well, depending on time. I got up super early this morning and drove up here in the dark. And as you can see, got up to Newfound Gap right around sunrise here. Sun's still trying to pop up over the mountains. If you've never been up here before, this first mile or so is pretty well maintained. But this is one of the most traveled sections of the AT and one of the most popular trails in the national park. So pretty easy to follow. All right, if you've never been up here before, this is one of those fun little hikes that's uphill both ways. And it's because from Newfound Gap, you got to go up Mount Ambler, which is just a pretty mild climb. Only about 1,000 feet up, I think, or the first 2.5 miles, something like that. Then you kind of drop back down, all the way down to where Charlie's Bunion is, and of course got to come back up on the way back out. But like I said, it's maybe a total out and back, you're going to gain 2,000 feet over about an 8-mile round trip. So all in all, pretty moderate to easy hike. You can see you get a little bit of rocks to step over. It can be a little more treacherous if it's icy up here, which this time of year it can be. Can hear me breathing hard, probably. That's because I'm out of shape. Try not to do this. Pick that up on the way back if it's still there. So I've probably hiked this trail a few dozen times, or this section of this trail, I should say. This is the Appalachian Trail, so it goes a ways. It's one of those trails in the national park that if you are a local and somebody is coming to town, never been here before, and you want to take on a really cool day hike, this has got to be toward the top of your list. Of course, since it does connect, of course it is the Appalachian Trail, but also since it connects via the Boulevard Trail, which we'll get to about 3 miles in, over to Mount LeConte. So yeah, you can definitely make it an overnighter. This is the longest route to Mount LeConte of the trails that go directly to LeConte. You can kind of see, actually, over here, I believe that's the Anarchista Ridge. I don't think that's LeConte. I think LeConte's behind that, but I could be wrong. Definitely going to be a gorgeous day today. So it's about 40 degrees up here this morning. Now, it's kind of funny, I was driving through Maggie Valley on the way in, and it was 31 according to my car. And then when we started heading up the mountain, it was getting warmer. Not typically what you see. But you probably noticed back there some ice on the trail. So if you're headed to the higher portions of the Smokies, even in mid to late November, you can definitely get snow and ice up here. Today's supposed to be a little bit warmer, high 30s, low 40s. There's a good example. But like I looked at potentially camping up on top of LeConte tonight and decided that was more than I wanted to bite off today, because the wind is supposed to hit 55 miles an hour early in the morning. I was trying to bust my butt here. Ooh, slick spot. So even though the air temperature is like 33, it was saying the wind chill was going to be 16. I think I have decided that is LeConte, maybe Myrtle Point up here. We're seeing the sun hitting now. So yeah, didn't want to deal with those kind of chilly temperatures. So we're just doing a day hike today. This is the first real look off you get. Real good view, about a mile and a half in. This little side trail on the right hand side of the main trail there. And actually, if you look back this way, again, getting pretty good views of LeConte over there. All right, getting to the intersection with Sweat Heifer Creek. Sweat Heifer? Yeah, something like that. That takes you down to the Kephart Shelter. I've never actually been all the way down that trail. But if you're ever up here in the summer and there's a ton of people on the AT, you'll take a little break, walk just 100 feet down there. Plenty of places to take little breaks with a nice view, and nobody will ever know you're there. Boulevard Trail, another mile on northbound on the AT here. Ice Water Spring at 1.3. And back the other way, Newfound Gap Road is 1.7. So making good time. Not quite to the top of Mount Ambler yet, but we should be there soon. Excuse me, see a hog trap back here, pig trap. Nobody in it today. All right, I'm having to film behind me here because the top of Mount Ambler is so unassuming. You sail right over it before you realize you've summited. But I guess once you hit 2.5 miles, you can say that you've been up to the top of a 6,000 foot peak in the eastern United States. Although it's pretty unassuming, like I said, very tree covered, completely tree covered, and very rounded off at the top. All right, trail kind of widens out a little bit here. This time of year is fine. Widens out because in the rainier months it's very sloppy through here. Well, we're coming up on another trail junction up here. This is the Boulevard Trail junction. So if you kind of hang a left, or rather keep going straight, you'll head up toward LeConte, the Boulevard Trail. One of my more favorite ways to get to LeConte. It's just the longest way. Also, and they actually have it marked nowadays, the Jumpoff Trail is 0.3 of a mile. I don't feel like it's actually 0.3, but anyway, you go up here and kind of hang it right. Something we might do later. But we're gonna head this way. So you're kind of making a hard right to stay on the Appalachian Trail. Head down toward Ice Water Spring. It's pretty much downhill from here to Charlie's Bunion. All right, there is a privy up here at Ice Water Spring Shelter if you need one. And coming up to the actual shelter down here, looks like still some tents up. Pretty cool place to stay if you get the chance. just 100 feet or so from the shelter, right here on the AT, is the ice water spring. Alright, because of that spring, if you come through here in like January, February, or even March or really cold December, this is like a straight up ice luge through here. And probably then it would be worth bringing ice spikes, but never worried with it. You can go slow and walk around a lot of it too. But was up here a few years ago and a girl slipped and sprained her wrist pretty bad somewhere in here. So be mindful, it can get slick up here because it's always wet. As I was saying, it can get pretty slick. This is the trail right through here. You see people have been coming around this way. I've dodged this ice, but the normal trail is just a solid sheet of ice through there. Alright, so about a quarter mile past the shelter, it starts to kind of open back up here. Open up for the first time, really. We're kind of out on this little ridge leading out to Charlie's Bunion. It's pretty narrow, which is kind of cool. Not necessarily exposure like you might find on some other trails, but you can kind of see definitely on the ridge line here, and starting to get views both directions. Right on Tennessee, North Carolina border here. So we come around this way, starting to get views off into Tennessee, and eventually start to be able to see it back over in North Carolina. Charlie's Bunion. Looking into Tennessee. That's northbound along the AT there. Ramsey Cascade, I think, is somewhere down in here. And this shoot. This is LeConte. If you look real close right here, you can see kind of a scar on the side of the mountain. That's the Jumpoff. Alright, so got up here on the little knob, technically above Charlie's Bunion, to show you the view from up here. You can really see this is Mount Kephart here. Again, with you can kind of make out in the shadow here the Jumpoff rock cliffs there. Then Mount LeConte over here, Myrtle Point. Step up here. There we go. Again, gotta zoom in. This little bald spot right here is kind of a cool to when it's icy. Look out this way toward Tennessee. Down below me here is kind of make out the Charlie's Bunion area. This is looking out toward the Salties and Guyot, Old Black. Other peaks along the AT running that way. And then back down here is back in North Carolina toward Cherokee and Bryson City, and being a little further over this way. I remember getting a good view from Clingman's Dome, but you just really can't see it from here because of this peak is in the way. Clingman's Dome is almost right behind that. But absolutely gorgeous day. Zoom back out there. Wanted to shoot this in 4K to see if it came out a little bit better. Upload it kind of as a short video. I'm doing a longer hike today, or a longer video of the hike from Newfound Gap to Charlie's Bunion. About to leave here, and then we're gonna head back up toward Icewater Spring and around to the Jumpoff where we head back down to the car today. Thanks for a nice little 10-mile hike. If you're ever up here. Other than being a little windy, the weather's extremely good today. Clear, about 40 degrees out. Just absolutely gorgeous. All right, I've made the turn towards Mount LeConte. Decided I got plenty of time, so I'm gonna run up here and check out the Jumpoff. It's been a couple of years, 3 years I think, since I've been up here. Sign says 0.3 from the intersection back there. I feel like it's actually a little closer than that. We'll see. But definitely more people hopping on the trail at this point in the day. Okay, yeah, about 20 more steps and I got to the sign. It's definitely not 0.3. It's more like 100 yards, 150 yards from the intersection down there. But this is a good hint as to what the Jumpoff trail looks like. It's just kind of a washout most of the way, but it's worth the view on a day like this. All right. Just came over Mount Kepart. There's some people on the top, so didn't want to film. It's not much to see at the very top anyway. A nice little bit of a clearing and a place to have a picnic if you want. But start to get pretty cool views of Mount LeConte over here and off into Tennessee as we head on down. I got to thinking the 0.3 is actually probably from that sign to the actual Jumpoff, not to the turnoff to the Jumpoff, so that would make more sense. Sorry for the wind noise, but I forgot my dead mouse, dead cat, whatever you call it, thing that I finally bought. Pretty awesome view from the Jumpoff today. Actually looking down on Charlie's Bunion right here. And first step's a Lulu. Alright, I'm heading back down the mountain. That's Mount Kepart behind me there. Up and over. Getting a little cold over there, so I put the jacket on. Met another guy with the same name as me, from the same town as me. So maybe he and I can do some hiking soon. But hope you enjoyed watching this. I'm not going to bore you with filming the whole way back. Come up here, have fun, and enjoy it.